Hey guys, I made this card this weekend. Um, the stamps that are on here are both new in the annual catalog. The Rays of Light background stamp, and then the Big Hooray, which I've used that for some other things. Um, when I was looking at it, I was like, I wanted to do it in the background and really only show that in the background mostly. And I thought I hadn't used the gilded leafing here. I hadn't used that in a while. So I thought I'm gonna do that. And I love how it came out. It is so shiny and pretty. Um, I love it. So I wanted to show you how I did that. I'm just going to show you how I did the background. The Hooray is from the Big Hooray. And what I did was I stamped it with Versamark and embossed it with black embossing powder. And then I fussy cut it out so I could put it on there like that. The bottom is with this border die with the linen paper. When you die cut the linen paper, it gets a little, you see it's kind of messy, sort of, if that's the word I'm looking for. But I kind of liked the way that it looked on here, in that you could still see the rays underneath it. So that's why I decided to use that paper. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do this with the gilded leafing. Be warned, it's very messy. It turns out really beautiful, but the gilded leafing is light as air and it is messy. So let's get started with that, and then we'll see how this one turns out. Okay, so I'm just using basic white. This paper is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. It's going to be my full background. I'm lining it up here. If you've used the Stamparatus before, you just sort of have to figure out where you want the stamp to come down on the paper and organize it and everything. So like I said, I did this one, and I have another card I'm doing different than that. So I just kind of leave it on there and remember where I lined up the paper to get it where I could get it all over, that the entire thing is on the paper. So you can't use magnets, obviously, when you are stamping all over the paper. So what I do is I just take a couple Post-it notes. I just fold those in half. Put one on that side. And this side. I'm lining it up at 1 inch down, 1 inch over. Okay, then you just sort of press down, and you can put magnets on the Post-it notes, okay? All right, so what we're doing, because we're using the gilded leafing, we're gonna use Versamark, and we're gonna use heat and stick powder. So I'm almost running out of that, but I have another one. So this is the Embossing Buddy. This is something that Stampin' Up! Had a couple years ago for many years, and then they stopped carrying it. As a demonstrator, I have seen the new, let's see, June through December catalog, obviously a holiday catalog as it used to be called, but they don't call it that anymore. And they've brought that back. And I'm really excited because it's really good for embossing, especially when you live in Florida. Lots of humidity. Okay, so here's my Versamark. And this is a big stamp. So you really, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm just putting it all over, making sure every ray has ink on it. You can tell because it gets shiny because it's wet. So, all right, here we go. All right, so I showed this in my last class. I got one of these. It's like for, board. It's an eraser. I use it on my Stamparatus a lot. You really have to push down All right, let's look at it. You can't see it like I can see it, but I can see a couple spots. Didn't get it. All right. I think I got it all. All right. So let me open my window here, see if that helps the light at all. Okay. So let's see, can you see it? A little bit, yeah. Ooh, there you go. All right. So let me move that out of the way. Here's the heat and stick. And it's also, you can see it's already got some of the leafing in there from the last time I did it. Okay, so because this is so big, it's not as easy as regular embossing when you're just doing like a little image or something. Okay, so can you see it? It's getting on there. All right, so I don't know if you can tell, but it's all powdery. All right, so I'm going to bring my heat gun over here, and then I'm going to show you with the heat and stick. It's a little more complicated than just using regular embossing powder. Obviously, you heat those until it raises up and gets shiny. Or sometimes it's not shiny. This, you don't want to overheat it. And also, it's harder with these because you don't really see it. Obviously, if I put silver all over that, you'll be able to tell what's working. With this, it's all clear. So you just have to really look at it. You want it to get a little shiny. That means it's sticky. You don't want to overheat it, and you want to make sure you get everything. I'll show you one that I did before that did not come out like this one did. All right, let me get my gun, and then we will we'll do the messy part. Okay, here we go. Get it really close up there. I hope you can see it. But again, this is so big, and it really takes over most of the paper. You see how it's starting to change a little? We want it to get shiny. Wanting everything to get, I hope you can see it in there, but you probably can't. All right, here's the messy part. I have this in a tall container because you'll see. All right, so I'm just gonna lay it down, take that off, and then I just sort of push down. You see how it's starting to fly? And it's all over my hands. Okay, flip it over, and you're like, Erin, that doesn't look very good. Can you see it? I just love this. I just think it's so pretty. And you know, even though I did the hooray and I did the background paper and the basic black and gold is still very celebratory. Okay, sorry about that. Oh gosh, you see what I'm saying? They go everywhere. My children walk through the door. It's summertime. Sometimes if you see a spot that doesn't have some, like this right here, see if that worked. No, that didn't work, but that's okay. That goes on the bottom anyway. Just use this brush to get some of it off. You see, the harder I do it, the better it goes. So anyway, and you'll still find some even after you've done with that. You can even use your hand. Okay, so there we go. That's how I did the background. I also used, well, I'm telling you this, I'm gonna try to get this off my hands. And do you see it? Like all over everywhere. I used the black matte dots on there, and a pretty simple card, but really pretty. And I've got this one now, so I'll figure out something different to do with it. Also, I wanted to show you, here's one that I told you, it was the first one I did, and I just didn't do it right. I don't think I heat embossed those enough for them to get sticky. But I'm keeping this because I could put, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool looking on its own, so I'm going to figure out something to do with that. But anyway, so I just thought this was really cool to use that stamp set, the Rays of Light, and use it with the gilded leafing to make something that really pops. You could also do it with gold embossing powder, which would also be pretty, but this is a little different than that. I don't know, it's a little different. So anyway, I just wanted to show you how to do that. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope everybody's having a great day.